But basically, the terminal is a text based interface on your computer that allows you to interact with the operating system by typing different commands. And that's exactly what I'm going to teach you in this video. I'm going to teach you the commands that you need to learn how to use so you can quickly get started using Git and the terminal. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ola and my mission with this channel is to help you master programming so you can level up in your career and live an abundant life. So in this video, I'm going to get you comfortable with Git and especially the terminal. Because if you're doing programming or web development, one of the things as a beginner, even myself, I still consider myself a beginner, but one of the things you have to get comfortable with is using the terminal. And this that you're looking at on your screen, it might seem weird to you, but this is the terminal, okay? But first, you need to know what exactly the terminal is. As you can see, you can type in it, but basically, the terminal is a text based interface on your computer that allows you to interact with the operating system by typing different commands. And that's exactly what I'm going to teach you in this video. I'm going to teach you the commands that you need to learn how to use so you can quickly get started using Git and the terminal. So on your computer, like I said, if you don't have this on your computer, maybe you probably don't know where it is. If you have a Mac computer, like an Apple computer, of course, make sure you type in the terminal, you search for the terminal, and it's pre-installed on your system. But if you're using a Windows computer like I am here, you want to go on Google and type in download Git Bash. Okay, the one I'm using is Git Bash. So once you go on Google and you click on the first link on Google, this is the one I'm using. Okay, that's the Git Bash. So I think it's for Windows and Mac as well. So I'm using the Windows one. So make sure you click here to download the latest one that I've got on my computer. And then once it's downloaded, you want to go back into the terminal. If you're searching your Windows here, you should be able to see it, Git Bash. This is the one I'm talking about, okay? So you open it up like this. I've already got it open. And then we can get started with making sure you understand what the terminal is and the command that you need to learn how to use so you can become comfortable with this terminal. Because one thing about being a programmer or a web developer is that you're going to use this terminal almost every single time you're working on a project, okay? Especially with Git, okay? You cannot run away from it, so you have to get comfortable with it. This is one of the things that I got really comfortable with quickly when I started learning um, front end development 6 months ago. Okay, so let's get started. All right. First of all, we're talking about Git. Git, what is Git? Okay, let's talk about that first of all. Git is a version control software. And what a version control is basically a software that records changes to a file or set of files over time so that you can go back to previous versions of that file or files later. Okay. It allows developers and programmers and people who work on a project together to be able to see changes that they made. It's going to show you who made the changes, when was the changes made, what version are people working on, so that you can avoid messing up your main project. Okay, it's going to allow you to store your main project on a server like GitHub, for example. If you've heard of GitHub, that's the job of GitHub, to store your main code. And you're going to use this version control software called Git to allow you to work on different versions of your project without actually messing up the main project. Okay, It's very powerful. So once you have your terminal open, right, let's get started with the basics. And I'm talking about the very basics. These terminals, they're very, very important. So you have to learn them and learn them fast and get comfortable with them. The very basic command I'm going to teach you is CD. That's right, just two letters. And they basically mean create directory. And this CD command is the command you're going to use to move in and out of folders on your computer. Okay? Because, like I said, computers have folders. Okay? It's very basic. But using this terminal, you're going to use the CD command. It's just two letters, as you can see. It's very easy. CD, and it's obviously it's not capital letters, as you can see. It's small letters, but I don't even think it matters. Just type in CD, and then let's say I want to go into my document folder on my computer, okay? And as you can see, I typed in CD document, and then I will press enter. And here, up here, you can see that it's changed compared to what's up here because it's letting me know that I have now used this command with by as well as typing in this document to navigate into this document folder. So it's letting me know that I am in the document folder. Let me show you what I did without using the terminal so you can see how simple it is. Okay, let me go to my file manager here in the Windows, right? Now let me actually close this. So let me just open like you would normally do. Click on your file manager, open it, expand it, and then you just go to document. That's basically what we've just done with the terminal. As simple as that. As you can see, with just, let's go back to the terminal. With just this command, we've basically just navigated into the document folder. And also, I'll show you another command. The second command I want you to get familiar with. Now that we are in this document folder, you may be wondering what is inside this folder. Now we're going to use another command called ls. On Mac, if you're using a Mac computer, it's ls. But if you're using a Windows computer like I am, it's not ls, it's ls-la. And what this simple command will allow you to do is to check what's in this folder. Okay, it's basically going to give you a list of everything inside every folder that's inside this folder. It's going to come up with it. If I press enter, there you go. As you can see, this is a list of everything that's inside, all the folders that's inside this folder. Again, let me move up the terminal. Now let me go back to the file manager just to show you the example. As you can see, this is the folder and this is basically everything inside it. That's what that command shows us. As you can see, if you look at it side by side, okay? So that's basically what it's showing you. It's showing you what's inside the folder there. That's what we did with just this simple command. That's the second command. The first one is CD to navigate into any folder that you want, and the second command is ls-la on Windows or ls on Mac to see what's inside the folder that you're navigating into. So now the third command, the most another simple command is when you're working with Git, you want to be able to, when you're working with the terminal, you want to be able to create folders and create files, okay? Because if you're working on a project, you're going to create files and like your basic index.html files, for example, and you're going to create your style.css files or your script.javascript file and so on and so forth. And you're going to create folders like your image folder where you're going to store your assets folders for your project and so on and so forth. So let's find out how can we create folders. And I'm going to teach you another command. It's very simple. It's called mkdir. And what this command basically means is make directory. That's all it means. And then in front of it, I'm going to type in let's just give it a an example folder. Let's call it example. Hold on, let me give it example folder. Okay. Now, this is the command. Make directory basically means create this folder inside the document folder. That's all it means. Okay. Use this command to create this folder with the title of this folder while inside this folder. That's what it means. So if I press enter, you will see, you'll be like, oh, I can't see anything. But let's use this command that I taught you earlier to find out whether we've created this folder, because it's going to give us a new list, right? So let's just use this command. Remember, it's ls on your Mac computer or ls-la on your Windows computer. Then you press enter. And as you can see, guys, the folder that we just created, the example folder, is now in our document folder. How magical is that? How beautiful is that? It's so powerful that we can use just simple commands like this to do powerful things, like creating a folder just like that in a blink of an eye. Okay, so that's the power of using the terminal. That's the power of using Git. So now I'm going to teach you another command, because we've used the cd command, and we've used the ls-la command, and we've used the make directory command. But now let's create files. Okay, let me navigate into this folder that we created. Remember, we just created a folder, and the way to navigate into this folder is to do what? By using this cd command. Don't forget. So now let me cd example, and because I know the name of the folder I want to navigate into, I can press on my keyboard, I can press tab. And if I press tab, it's going to help me by completing this folder by typing it out for me. Okay, as you can see. The reason why I did that is because I typed in half of the name, and it went through the list and realized this is the only folder with the name. So that's why it completed it for me. So now I will press enter. And as you can see, guys, up here, it's showing you the progress that you're now inside this folder. Remember, we navigated into that folder up here, but now we've navigated into this folder using this powerful cd command, that create directory command. So now that we know that we're inside this folder, let's use this command again. Remember this command? Let's use it to find out what's inside this folder, just to see. You might not be sure, so let's just make sure. ls-la, and it's showing you that we don't have any files in there. Okay, there's nothing in there, so no problem. So now I'm going to teach you another command that you can actually use to create files inside your folders. So let's say I want to start a new project, a new website, right? I know I'm going to need my index.html page, right? So let's say I want to create that file inside this folder. So what I'm going to do is this is another command, touch, touch. Touch is a command that we use to create files, not folders, but files. We use this mkdir to create folders, remember, but we use the touch command to create files. So now, what file do I want to create? I want to create an index.html file. Okay, now I'm going to press enter, and you're going to see the magic of it. Bang, there you go. Okay, now again, you're probably wondering, have we really done anything? Okay, let's use this command to check, right? Let's see if there's any. Remember, when we use this command in the folder, it gave us these files. So let's use it again to see what file it will give us. And as you can see, guys, the file that I just created is now in this folder. That's how powerful it is. Let me use the same command to create more files because I'm going to need a style.css file, right? I'm going to need another file. I'm going to need a script.js file, which is a basic JavaScript file, okay? And let's use the previous command that I taught you, this one, to create a folder inside this folder. So let me do it. mkdir. Let's say I need an images folder because I'm going to store all my images in that folder. So let me press enter. And now let's go back and use this command to get a list of what's inside this folder. Let's see if anything has changed, okay? ls-la. And there you go. Look at everything we've just created using this powerful command. Look at everything we just created. Now inside this folder that we created earlier, we have this file for CSS for our style sheet. We have script.js file for our JavaScript, for our functionality for our website that we're building, and we have our basic home page index.html, and also we have our image folder. This image folder is where we will store our logos and images and so on and so forth. And as you can see, guys, in just a few minutes, using just simple commands. How many commands have we learned? We've learned the cd command, we've learned the ls-la command, that's the second one, the mkdir command, that's the third one, then the touch command, that's the fourth one. So just using four simple commands, we are doing powerful things with the terminal, guys. Powerful things. I'm telling you, these four commands that you've seen, you're going to use them every single time you're working on a project. Every single time. Believe me, you want to learn and just get comfortable with using them. And lastly, because I promised to teach you five commands that you will use regularly. Lastly, let's use this command, right? Because we are in our, remember, we've navigated into the documents folder, and now we are in our project folder, and now we have saved all our files. We've created all our files in our project folder, but now we want to start working on them. Okay, we want to get to work on our local computer. Okay, and to do that, you need a text editor, okay, so that you can code. So the text editor that I'm using is VS Code, okay, and let me show you VS Code. Let me show you what it looks like. Let's go back to Google. Let's go back to Google just for a second. VS Code, VS Code download. Okay, if you're a beginner developer or programmer, you want to make sure to download this VS Code. It's by Microsoft, okay, so it's the best text editor in the business, believe me. So you want to make sure you download it to your computer, whether it's Windows or Mac. Okay, now the reason why I mentioned this is because it's relating to this command that I'm going to show you just now, code dot. And before I press enter, what this simple command, remember, excuse me, I just burped. This code space dot, this code space dot command is a powerful command because it will allow you to open your project, to open this project inside VS Code. Okay, that's how powerful it is. Just a simple command. So if I press enter from my terminal, it will automatically just open my project that I created inside the Visual Studio Code. Guys, look, this is the folder that we created, our image folder. There's currently no images in it, but we'll work on that later. This is the index.html. This is the script.js for our JavaScript functionality code. This is the style sheet, our CSS, to style our website. Let me create the home page just to give you an example of how powerful this is. And did you see what I did there? I used a shortcut, guys. I used a shortcut, which is exclamation mark, enter. and it will give you the boilerplate, basically a template to get started with your project. And in here, I could just simply say H1. Let me just give it a simple heading. Oh, for our project, learning Git and the terminal. Let me save that. Now I will right click. If I right click on this page and I go and I scroll down to open with live server. Live server is a an extension that allows you to open your project that you're building in your default browser. So I'm going to click on this, and then it's going to show me, guys, look how powerful it is. This is what we're building, and this is what you've just learned in this YouTube video. You've learned Git, and you've learned how to use the command. Okay, guys, and that's how powerful these things are. Okay, and I hope you've learned something from this. Don't let all this, the first time I actually used this terminal, you see all this different colors and green, purple, yellow, and blue, and it was kind of scary to me. Okay, I was kind of like scared of it. But don't worry, guys, when you see something like this, when you see programmers using something like this, just find the simple commands that they're using. It's simple. Don't be scared by all this thing and you're like, oh my god, this is a lot. Just find the simple commands. Pay close attention to the commands that they are using, okay, to navigate and communicate with the terminal. Remember, it's just a few easy commands. You can remember all this. It's not difficult. Remember, CD is create directory to navigate into whatever folder you want to navigate into. Mkdir is the make directory which is used to create your folders. ls or ls-la is the command that allows you to see what's inside a folder. It gives you a list of what's inside the folder. And the touch command, the touch command is what you use to create your files, okay? Your files inside of each folder. And the code dot is the command that you use to open your project directly into directly inside VS Code. Okay, those are the simple commands. And one last thing, I want to give you a bonus command. Okay, but before that, let me clear all this. The clear command just basically clears everything and creates a lot more space for me. Don't worry about that one. You see, I'm still in the command that I in the folder that I created, as you can see. But I want to show you another, just one bonus command. This is the cd dot dot, and I want to leave you with this one. Remember, cd on its own create it allows is called create directory and allows you to navigate into different folders. But cd dot dot, just I want you to pay attention to what's going on here, guys. Pay attention to what's happening right here. If I press enter, guys, guess what just happened? Now it's just the documents folder. Before it was we were in the example folder, but now we are just in the document. Can you guess what happened? Guess what happened? We used this command to go back into the previous folder. It's basically this. Let me exit the terminal and show you what we just did there in the simplest form. What we just did there is we just basically went back into as you can see, guys, we went back. It's like going into a folder like this. Double click in the document folder and just say, let me go back into the home folder. You see, guys, you go into the document folder using the cd, then you say cd dot dot to basically go back. That's it. See, so it's not scary. Let me do it again. Cd dot dot, and pay attention to this to what changes. Press enter, and you can see the document is no longer on the top here. Why? Because we basically just use this command to go back. Okay, cd. Let me cd now. Cd document. Let's say We use cd to go in into folders, but we use cd dot dot to go out of folder, to basically go back to the previous place, as you can see. So it's very simple to use. It's nothing scary. Just get used to these commands, guys. These are the basic commands you need to get used to, and you will master the terminal, and you will enjoy coding and web development and programming a lot more. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you've learned something from this. I really do. Okay, and one last thing, if you want to take it a step further, okay, then you need to learn how to push your code and work with GitHub, okay, because Git and GitHub go hand in hand, guys. You can't do one without the other, especially if you want to push your code to GitHub. So if you want to do that, I'm going to put this video in front of you that teaches you how to do just that, so you can learn how to how to commit your code, meaning save your code and keep track of your changes, your code changes, and then push your code to a remote server on GitHub so that your project can be safe, so that you don't lose any of your files. Okay, so guys, yeah, watch this video in front of your screen right now, and you're not going to regret it. So thank you guys so much, and I hope you really find this video helpful. I appreciate you, and yeah, thank you, and see you next time. Bye bye.